Hey, Lady Bosses, welcome back to another episode of Lady Boss Unplugged. I am so excited for today's episode because I have someone truly incredible and special joining me. Someone that I truly look up to, admire, and ladies, today I'm sitting down with none other than Molly Richards, the previous host of this very podcast. Molly's heart, wisdom, and authenticity have impacted so many women, including myself. And I couldn't be more honored to have her back on the mic with us. Today, we're going to be diving into real, honest conversation all about the ins and outs of marriage, the beautiful, the hard, the funny, and everything in between. Whether you're married, thinking about marriage, or navigating through a tough season, this episode is for you. So grab your coffee, your earbuds, and get ready because this one's going to feel like a heart-to-heart with your big sister. Let's get into it. Hey, Lady Boss. Welcome to Lady Boss Unplugged, the podcast where real women have real conversations about crushing their goals, building unstoppable confidence, and creating lives they absolutely love. Hi, I'm Kaitlyn CEO and owner of LadyBoss, wife, mom of two boys, and your biggest cheerleader.
Do you remember when Mommy looked like that?
Way not similar.
Each week, we'll dive into stories, strategies, and straight up motivation to help you show up as the best version of you. Because let's be honest, you are made for more. So whether you're driving the kids to practice, hitting the treadmill, or just taking a moment for yourself, get ready to laugh, learn, and leave inspired. LadyBoss gives you the tools to not only hit your weight loss or your health and fitness goals, but to believe in yourself. This is LadyBoss Unplugged, where women like you rise, thrive, and shine.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited, Kaitlyn. I'm so excited to be on here again. I have missed y'all. I have missed this podcast, and you're just one of my favorite people. So thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy you are here with us, and I'm really excited to dive into this topic with you. I don't think even in season 1, when you were hosting it, we never really dove into marriage too much, did we?
No, not too much. It is a huge part of my life, though, because I have been married. You ready for this? 30 years in just a few months. We're hitting 30 years. How is that possible? Because I'm like 32. But anyway, so it's a huge part of my life. Yeah, it's crazy.
Congratulations. That is amazing. I always round up in my marriage, and we've been married for like 10 years. No, we've been married for 8 years this year, but we're close enough to 10.
Yes,
but we've been together for 10 years. So I'm still rounding up.
That's amazing. I mean, I always
20, 30, 40, 50 year mark.
That's amazing. I always remember between our seventh and eighth year was one of our most challenging. So good job hitting 8. Like marriage is a challenge. Marriage is hard. And so my husband and I actually are doing this together. We feel very called to help as many couples as possible, not just have a good marriage, not just survive, but literally like have a great marriage where you are thriving, you're growing together, you're having fun together, you're having having a great marriage is just a game changer in all aspects of your life. So I'm very obsessed with this right now, and I'm so excited to share that with you all.
Oh, I'm so excited you are. It truly is. And you mentioned the 7-8 year mark being a struggle. I have heard that multiple places, and I will say it is true. Very, very true. Especially, I think it's at like 7 year for sure and can kind of trickle into the 8. And because I have friends like Molly in my corner who gives me all the insights, when we started having those 7 year struggles, we sat down and I was like, okay, we've got to figure this out. Yeah. And as hard as it was, we came out even stronger through it all.
I love that. Props to you guys for actually saying, wait, this isn't working. Let's change things. Many people, I believe, it's kind of like even with our fitness, we're like, that's okay. And then 1 year turns into 1 month turns into 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, 5 years. All of a sudden you're like, we've grown so far apart, just like with our fitness, where we're like, all of a sudden I've gained 20 pounds and I've gotten out of shape and I feel miserable. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, we have to be honest with ourselves and have those conversations of, wait, what do I want? Where am I? Like, how can I change things? Because I deserve better. We deserve better, even when it comes to our health. Same with our marriage. Same with our parenting, all of that. So it's like having those real conversations. And y'all know this, struggling with your health or your marriage, either one, doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you suck, whatever. It just means you're human. That's just what we all go through. And so Kevin and I, my husband and I, Like, I've been praying about this, y'all. I have been praying about this. We actually did a marriage challenge 5 years ago, right at the beginning of COVID, and it was amazing. And so a lot of people have asked us to bring this back. My husband's super busy, and I'm like, it's okay, I'll do it alone. And just recently, he's like, hey, I feel called to do this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is an answer to prayer. So it's pretty crazy.
Gives me goosebumps. I'm always like, yep, it's destined. It's like meant to be,
Yeah.
especially like you're like, I'm gonna rock and roll with it. But now he's like, no, like this is
Yeah,
where we're
we're
supposed to
really yeah, and we're better together, you know what I mean? We really are, and so, also, one huge thing for me is hearing the husband's perspective, the man's perspective is so amazing. They just
be.
think a little differently, of course, I mean, they're males.
A little differently, Molly.
Okay, a ton. But it's
That's
been really,
fine.
really fun. It's been really, really fun hearing from him and his wisdom, and then having the female perspective, the mom perspective, the wife perspective, all of that. And then we have learned a ton together doing this ourselves. And so it's just been a blessing all the way around. So I'm excited to share this with your community and anyway, and talk with you more today. So yay.
Awesome. So
And to be
I
back on.
want to know a little bit more about you and Kevin.
Ooh.
What drew you to him at first? Like, how'd y'all meet? Like, I want to know.
All right, you got like 5 hours? Not kidding. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all how old I am by telling you this. I met Kevin in 1990. Okay, this is before a lot of y'all were even born. So that's wild. And I had, yeah, we met each other at a church camp. I went to the church camp with a friend, not because I was part of the youth group or anything, but as I said to her, she goes, come to this trip. I think I've told Kaitlyn this story before. Come on this trip with me. And I said, are there going to be cute boys? I was totally boy crazy back then. I know, shocker. And she said, ooh, I don't know. Anyway, I met Kevin then. We ended up dating for 5 years. Through high school, we like went to each other's proms. We went to different high schools. We went to each other's proms. We both went to different colleges, stayed together, broke up, dated. But it was really strange. I always tell people this. I'm like, this is so weird. When I was like 16 years old, I knew he was going to be my husband. That is crazy. And I felt like it was like this God calling. I know, crazy because again, I was boy crazy. So I was like, what is happening? But it's been a wild ride ever since. And then we have two kids, and one is about to be 29 and one's about to be 24. And it's just been really cool. Like, but here's one thing I want to be honest about is from the outside, we look like we have had everything going on perfect. Sometimes people say, oh, you have even my mom, she's like, oh, you have the perfect house. You have my dream life. You have this and that. I'm like, it's not about the haves. It's like, cool. We have been through a lot. We've had moments where we discussed divorce once. And then since then we were like, we're never even bringing that word into our lives again, because then it gives an option. We don't want an option. We are committed to each other forever. And I know some marriages don't work out because of a lot of different huge issues, which are, horrible. But for us, we're like, we love each other and we are committed to each other. But I can tell you that we have made it through the struggles with a lot of the things that we're teaching now to people, because we've been through it honestly. And I thank God actually for those struggles, because it's made us so much stronger. It has made us understand each other. It's made us compromise for each other a little bit, or, go through just, getting to know each other better and all over again, which is something that we encourage couples to do. So it's been wild, but I adore him more than anyone on earth. And I mean, even last night we went to bed like totally cuddling. I'm like, I've been with you for 35 years and I still want to be held by you and touched by you and talked with and treated like I'm your girlfriend. And that's something that we're really firm believers in as well.
I love that. I always say, is my husband or am I the same person we met 10 years ago? No,
Yeah.
we've completely changed and evolved. But like,
Yes.
I get so much more excited about it because I get to fall in love with him over and over and over again in every season. Like right now, he's starting to get grays. And I'm like, can we take a picture of your face like every month? Because I want to see your salt and pepper transition. Like, I'm so excited.
You have to document that. You have to document that and do something on social media with it. I'm just saying, wouldn't that be fun? And I think like even Kevin, he has a salt and pepper hair, and I've known him since he was so young, this baby face, right? I've shown pictures on social media and I'm like, gosh, you're like a fine wine. Like you get better. I don't know if I'm getting better, but they get better with those gray hairs. I'm like, wisdom. You know what I mean? It's sexy.
Yes, it's for sure. I'm like, I'm gonna like this salt and pepper
Yeah,
phase. I
you
didn't
have
know
to
it.
document that. Please, I will be the first person to like it. That's funny. And I've met your husband. He's wonderful. You guys are so cute.
Thank you. So for our audience listening, we've got a mixture of people who are married. We have some that are just newly engaged in the Lady Boss community and getting
I
married
love
soon.
it.
And what I just want to know, what would you tell those people that are engaged, about to get married? Like, what is something you wish you knew before you got married?
Okay. I love that. I have a lot of young couples asking me that often when I tell them, how long we've been married. They're like, what? I want that. Or I didn't even know marriages like that exist anymore. It's like really cute to me. And they'll say, give me, excuse me, give me a couple tips, And I'm like, the person you are today, like you said, you will evolve, you will grow, you will change. Kevin and I decided we will do it together. So I'm going to become a better version of me. He's going to become a better version of him. But let's stay, like, if you stay on the same page, you communicate what you need, you communicate what you want, and you have goals and a vision, a shared goal and vision together as a couple, you will thrive. So I think what happens is, people, individuals grow and change and mature. Like we've matured since 16 to 52 years old. Hello. So I am a different Molly, but I am the same wife and the same partner to Kevin. We have always sat down every year, written out our goals, written out what we want for ourselves, for our future, for our family. So that's number one. Number two, I always tell people, keep dating. We always say ABD. Kevin and I always be dating. ABD, ABD, always be dating. So I feel like sometimes it's all fresh and fun when you're engaged and you're dating, or even you're newlyweds. You're like, yes, we're intimate often, or we're going on dates often. We're going on vacations. We're keeping it fresh. This is fun. We're kissing, we're touching, we're flirting. All of a sudden, 7 years later, 8 years later, whatever it is, 10, you have kids, you're busy, you have a career, you're literally high-fiving each other, saying hi, bye in the kitchen. You're exhausted by the end of the day, and you've lost that flame, that fire. So what that means is you have to make it a priority to continue to date each other. And so I just find that, like, when you do that, you're going to keep being cute. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect, doesn't mean you have to be fake, like, but look into that your spouse's eyes and be like, you're the person that I met. Like, I still look in Kevin's eyes and he's still my boyfriend. He even says that. He's like, you're the best girlfriend. I'm like, yay. Like, that makes me happy. I don't need to be like wife, in quotes, like, or just mom. No, Kevin didn't marry me for that. He married me for me. And so I would say always be dating. Dates don't have to be expensive or extravagant or fancy or planned. They could be super spontaneous and fun, but making that time, especially when you're busy with kids, is insanely important. And we firmly believe this: put your phones away. What drives me so crazy, and I'm not a negative person, y'all know that, but I'm like, put your phones away and have conversation, have real conversation with each other, conversations with each other. I'm actually going to make this and put it on our website. Eventually, I'm going to share this with you guys. But I have literally 300 questions you can ask your spouse when you're on your date, or just hanging out together, to connect always and to learn about each other. And the more you don't have those conversations, the more you're staring at your phone instead of being together, you will drift apart. It is just going to happen. And so you have to really be intentional. And that's something I would say. And then I'm going to go one more. And this is something that we have always done, and I just recommend it if you're a mom too, or you want to become a mom, is Kevin and I, from day one, said we have our top 3 priorities. I think you need to know your priorities. So number 1 for us is God. God is our top priority. He's who I go to at first thing in the morning. And Kaitlyn and I talk about this. We're like, we do a Bible study every morning. I just use the Bible app on my phone. First thing, not social media, not even Kevin. Like, of course, I'll kiss him and he brings me my coffee. God bless. Many times without a shirt on, which is sexy. Okay, so he does. I got to record it one day and put it on my Instagram, but I'm like, okay. But God is our number 1. Without him, we have nothing. Without him, we don't have a marriage. We don't have a family. That's just my firm belief. So it could be spiritual for you. It could not be that for you. And that's super cool. That is for us. So God is number 1. Shocker, everybody. Number 2 is Kevin. It is not Kaylee and Logan. That's the name of our kids. Because when Kevin's my second priority, that's who I go to for everything after. We are a team. We are on the same page. We love each other. Like, I am more whole. I'm totally whole without him, but I am a more solid human with him. Then, because we're each other's priority, we can be better parents. We are not against each other. It's not go ask your dad, go ask your mom. Your kids will learn how to play that off of you eventually. So you have to be together. And so also, we both, Kevin and I, come from families whose parents both divorced. And so, my dad left when I was like 10, and I was one of 9 kids. Can you imagine raising 9 kids alone? That was my mom. Yeah. And if my parents really were like solidly together, that would have been better for our whole family. And they would have probably worked things out. Number one. Number two, it would have given us a really good example as kids as to what a real marriage, a solid marriage is, a loving couple, a loving, you know what I mean? And so those are things that I think are really important. And then I'm going to say number 4, have fun. We get so stuck in the monotony of life. We get stuck in the busyness. We get stuck in the, oh, I should be like this person. And then whatever, just like have fun together, be playful. I touch each other a lot. And I always Kaitlyn, I'll tell Kaitlyn, we leave each other a lot of messages and it's really fun, like Voxers or voice audios. And I'll be like, some people don't want to talk about this, but when you were dating, you touched a lot. You did. I don't know what y'all did. Great. But it brought you to where you are. Our husbands need to be touched. And so do we. And I think many times girls are like, oh, that's not good for me. Or we have like a weird thing about that. It's like, no, be intimate, whatever that is. And when you're touching and you're together, because no one else is going to touch you like that, right? You're married. It's like, take it and you will be able to deal with life more because you're so solidly together. I get very pumped up about that.
I love it. And all of those are so, they're already things that I've experienced. Me and my husband meet not only weekly, or yearly about goals and whatnot, but we try to do it at least bi-weekly. But that's one of those things where it's like, for my husband, because like you mentioned earlier, men think very differently than women, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so we're like, okay, here's our family goal. And it stems from like my husband's goal, but like I share that same goal. But he wants the goal. I think of it like, how do we get to the goal?
Yes.
Which many times in our relationship, we've had to sit down and come back together during those meetings.
Yeah.
Because he's like, okay, is this really what you want? Because that's not what we're working on.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's what we're working on, but this is how we get there. And so like you have to sit down and have those conversations to make sure you do have that alignment. Because it's possible, like, that's not my goal anymore. Here's what it looks like. And you have to pivot.
Yep.
That's
literally, you have to. I love that you said that. And I totally agree with you about women's brains and the way we work compared to men, which is great that we're like, it works. It's a good togetherness, whatever I'm trying to say. But same, Kevin will always say to me, and I always reference this, The Notebook is my favorite movie. Okay, I don't know what y'all favorite movie is, but that's like my favorite. And I always picture Noah. He's like, what do you want? What do you want? Remember that? And she is like, she knows what she wants, but she will not say what she wants.
Yeah.
And I think that is a problem sometimes, right? We know what we want. Why are we so afraid to share it? Even in our fitness, we know what we want. We know how we want to look. We know the work it's going to take. We know the community we need, LadyBoss. We know who we want to be, how we want to show up, our desires. Kevin and I talk about that word all the time. Desire. You have desire, ladies. I have desire. I pushed my desire, squashed it for so many years. I'm telling you right now, I squashed it because I felt like if I wanted something, that means my kids weren't important. That means I wasn't taking care of them. That means I was being selfish. Silly. It's so good to be selfish, to fill our cup. You know that. You might know that. I'm going to tell you right now, it is so healthy to have wants, to have needs, and then to also communicate that with your spouse, with your partner, with your fiance, with your boyfriend, okay? But communicating that is so important because what happens is we just push it down until we're either miserable, we're sad, we're not showing up for our relationship, or we're going to explode, right? Or we're angry or we're resentful because we don't say it, but we should have said it. And all of a sudden they're like, you should have told me. You're like, well, now you didn't care. Yes, they did. You know what I mean? Or sometimes just being bold and saying, hey, let's have this talk about where we're going, what our vision is. Let's stay aligned, because when you are not aligned is when you drift apart. And when you drift apart, it's dangerous because then all of a sudden you're like, we're not even connected. Okay, I've lost hope. We're done. I get messages like this all the time where it's like, I don't even know what to do. We have grown apart for so long now, or we have 4 kids and they're all these age, and that is our life. It's like, y'all need to still have a life, a love life, a life full of desire and just loving each other. And I mean, there's no one I could go to in the world. I have 4 sisters. I have 4 brothers. I have lots of friends. And Kevin is the one person who I know I can trust completely. So having that trust is so important. And just knowing like when you're together, you are better. That's what we've always said. And that's 30 years, 35 years together. And yeah, I think I'm an independent woman. I'm singing the Destiny's Child song in my head all the time. Like, oh, my ladies. It's like, yeah, I'm an independent woman. And that's super awesome. We should be. We should have our independent thoughts. We should do all the things we want to do. But in your marriage, do it together and your life will be better. Both of us saw our parents not doing things all together. They drifted apart. Our dads went and found the touch that they weren't getting at home because and so then things led to that. And we saw that and we're aware of it. And so we communicate that. So yes, having a vision, talking about your goals, so important, and not being shy, not holding back, putting out what you want. And it's so huge. So thank you for that. It was a really good question.
Yes, I am. I always I'm a boss. I am very independent. I am very hard headed. Like I know what I'm after, and so I'm always just blown away by my husband because he's not intimidated by it, right? But when I am with him, he's got the keys. He's got the wallet. Like I'm like the most independent, dependent person ever. Because like I can be independent and I'm going to rock and roll and get things done.
Yeah.
But when I'm with my husband, my partner,
Yeah.
I'm dependent. I'm like, take care of me. I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have to carry my keys, my wallet.
Yeah. And I think I am with you on that, by the way. I always call myself like old school in a way, but also I want to be that like strong, independent, free thinking Molly, right? But I'm with you, Kevin. I want him to open the door for me. There's nothing wrong with that. My son opens the door for me. He opens the door for any girl he's with. That is like, is it chivalry? I don't know. Is it old school? I don't care. I don't care if it's 2025. I like that. I think it's like really respectful and loving. And I know I could open my own door. I could get my own keys and I could do all that. But I do love that. And I know that men like that. I don't know. Kevin does. He's like, I want to take care of you. And I'm like, I want to take care of you. So I think it's that mutual feeling of we want to care for each other, take care of, take care of each other. Just yeah, and that's like a form of like love, like for me it is, you know what I mean? And also knowing your love language like is so important, y'all know that. But like having that and being okay with like, yeah, I am strong, I am independent, but I also like someone to take care of me. I think it's awesome. I think it's romantic.
I love how you brought your son Logan into it, how he opens the doors and whatnot. Like, and he's learned that from watching Kevin and yours relationship. Like that is so powerful right there because we are in a world where divorce is unfortunately pretty common. And so to be able to set those standards for your son, to give them that example for your kids.
Yeah. I just want to tell people who are listening to this, like if your marriage is struggling right now, don't give up on it. There are things you can do to make it stronger. And so I just want to give hope because like I said, we've had really rough patches. We've gone through moves, we've gone through job changes, job losses, opening a new business, shutting that down, opening another one, shutting that down, opening another one, like success and failure and challenges with kids and challenges with our parents, death of my dad. Like there's always something, but just taking a second and saying like, okay, this is okay. I love you. And we're going to just regroup and change this. So I just want to let people know, like, again, we could look like it's all perfect. We work our booties off to have a strong marriage. It's worth it. To me, it's worth it. I want to grow old with Kevin. And then I love that you brought up my son, Logan, and my daughter, Kaylee. They have a firm foundation of what our strong marriage is. They have seen us struggle a little. We don't fight in front of our kids. We don't bicker in front of our kids. If there's a disagreement that we're having in front of them, we're like, we'll talk about this later. Okay. Like we're not in denial, but we just are like, we're going to take care of this issue. So then we show them how to communicate. And we're just not like that.
Love it.
So that was important, but it was so cool. You just reminded me last night, we're in the jacuzzi with our son. He was over here and he was just like, I just want what y'all have. And he is from California and he said, y'all. So he said, I just want what you guys have. Like, to look at what you've built is so inspiring to me. I want to be the best boyfriend I can. I want to be an amazing husband one day. I want to provide for my family and I want to work hard. And I just love how you guys look at each other still. And he recorded a video that we did recently and he was like, you guys are so cute. You look like you just met. Like, that was wild. And so I think trying to really keep that spark alive and maybe once in a while make out with your husband like you did when you first met. There's so many times Kevin and I years ago used to see just couples up, little quick peck. And we were like, we are not going to be peckers all the time. We are going to make out and we are going to kiss more often. And I'm going to grab your butt, babe. I don't care if it's in public. Like, I will do these things. And I don't care if my kids laugh and they look over in the kitchen and we're totally making out and it's not gross. It's like love. And I'm not saying make out like, whatever, but like, we're very affectionate in front of each other and we express that in front of each other. And I just say, like, don't hide the love that you have. And if you haven't done that in a while, just do it. Flirt with your husband, flirt with your fiance, your boyfriend. It is so fun. They love it. And I did a post the other day. It was about like, stop saying I love you. Say stuff like, you look really hot today. Send a sexy text, like drop a love note. I love when Kevin goes on trips, I'll leave a little note in his suitcase. And I'll be like, I miss you so much today. You're sexy. Or, just he sends really sweet gratitude texts. That's flirting. That's so cool. And so like Logan heard us talking about that one day. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that. I'm like, wait, you're dating a girl for a year and you don't do that? He's like, we used to. I'm like, stop. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it. And so I just feel like life can do its thing, right? Where we feel a little bit bored. It feels a little bit monotonous, or we just get stuck in a rut, or we just get busy with our kids. And I get it. I remember driving to dance lessons and baseball and just constantly, I felt like a chauffeur, just trying to survive. And by the end of the night, I was like, don't touch me. I've been touched all day and I'm so tired. I get it. But it's a different touch that your husband gives than your kids, shoving, holding you, shoving you away, dealing with all the things. Like, be held, be okay with that. I'm just a firm believer in that. We're physical because we've always been that way, but no one else can give you that. So it's really important. And I do, again, back to Logan, to be able to be that example for our kids and our daughter is huge, because we can change whatever has happened in our families. Kevin and I both come from divorced families. We decided we're changing this. We are growing old together. We are going to make it through. And so our kids are like, what will it take for me to have that? And so we're very clear about it. Imagine that. We always say with LadyBoss, like, you can change your family tree, right? When you change your health, you can change the way that your kids eat and move and what they believe in themselves. We can do the same with our kids, with their relationships, with dating, and then with marriage one day. So it's like really powerful. We have such power, ladies, so much power. And so, yeah, we want the chivalry. We want the guy to open the door for us, but we're unstoppable. Okay. And it's making that decision and changing those behaviors intentionally. I get so excited about this. Okay.
I love it. Okay. So real talk for a moment, Molly. I'm going to make you dive deep.
She's doing this. Okay. What? Tell me.
I want to know what is one of the biggest challenges that you and Kevin have faced in your marriage, and how did y'all work through it?
No, that's good. I literally go back. Those moments in your life and you're like, I have chills even thinking about it. So if I cry, it's okay. One of my lashes might come off. It's cool. It's worth it for this podcast. I told Kaitlyn before I got on here, I'm like, LadyBoss Unplugged is home. LadyBoss is home. LadyBoss has changed my life. And so thank you. Like, again. Okay. So I can literally picture, I think I was 30 years old. And we had like this beautiful house and this great life. And, but Kevin was working all the time. And I was fortunate enough to be able to stay home. We laugh now looking at how much money we made, which we thought was a lot back then. It was nothing. We were like, how do we survive? Oh my gosh. But anyway, and I remember Kevin was gone all that time, and it would be like a work this and working, and then he'd go to a work dinner and he'd go to this and that. And I was like, I was lonely. So you can be in a marriage, but be lonely. It's wild. You're like, I'm not alone, but I'm lonely. So that was me. And I felt overwhelmed, and I'd cry when I was home alone. And even though, again, I had a nice car, we had nice cars, a nice house, we had all the things, we looked like we had all of our stuff going on, I was lonely. And I was getting resentful. I was getting angry. And I literally could picture this. I'm holding Logan in my arms because he's like 1 and my daughter's 6 and she's by my side. I'm at the top of a balcony and Kevin came home late and I said, I'm done. I'm done. I literally can't do this anymore. And at that time, I'm getting all choked up. I was like, I think I love you. But I think what it was is I was just really scared I was going to lose what was really important to me. And I just was praying about it. And you know, it was crazy. Kevin left that job like that week. He was like, I can't do it anymore either. You are important. Like it was a wild decision back then. He's like, I'm going to leave that job. We're going to go actually get out of where we were. It wasn't healthy. And we made huge life changes. You do not have to make huge life changes like we did, but we did. And we knew it was like a God calling for us because our life literally took a whatever it's called. Is that a 180? I always say 360, but that will take you right to where you were. But we made some really big changes. But I literally that night, I remember thinking, oh, I'll just be like my mom and other people that get divorced, and that's not what I want at all. So why was I doing it? That wasn't what I wanted. And so anyway, that was a really hard moment for me. And I look back at sometimes Kevin and I talk about it. We're like, that was wild. And then since then, that's been a lot of years. There have been other times where we're like, okay, regroup. Never in our minds was it like, I'm done. I'm going to go to my sisters. I'm going to go talk with my friends. I'm going to go talk trash about you and take a break. I think that's like really unhealthy and dangerous. I'm a firm believer of if it's nighttime, we're just going to go to bed. We're going to deal with it in the morning. Nothing good happens past like 11 p.m. with conversations hot and heated with your spouse. So we pray about it. We go to bed and maybe we'll be upset with each other, but we deal with it. So I think stuffing stuff is bad. And personally, because we've done it and it never helped the situation. But then really having that discussion uninterrupted, if it's getting a sitter for the kids so you could go and talk uninterrupted. I always say that because there's so many things coming at us, especially with our phones, right? Especially when you have jobs, but having that, like, what do we want? Like, I love you. That was always our thing. I love you. What do we do now? And so anyway, that was one of my biggest things. And I do go back to that a lot and be like, wow, that was a pivotal moment in our lives of what should we do? So your change doesn't have to be a career change moving, but what is it that isn't working? And what can work better? What are some of the things that you can do together or even individually? So I'm going to say one more story real quick that just came in my head. If that's okay.
Yes. Tell us all the things.
Okay. I'm going to tell one more thing. The other time my marriage struggled is when I was not taking care of myself. I gained 20 pounds. I wasn't confident because I had gained weight. I was mentally not doing what I wasn't doing my personal development at the time. I wasn't hanging out with people that were like fueling my dreams. You've heard this probably before from me or other places. You are the average of the top 5 people you hang out with. So I wasn't hanging out with people who had dreams, who wanted better, who wanted a good marriage, who wanted the things I wanted. So they were kind of dragging me down. But I just remember just feeling yuck. I remember feeling sad. I didn't know sad was the word at the time. I just remember going, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be touched because I feel fat. I'm just going to say it. That's how I felt. I don't want to be touched. I don't feel sexy. I don't want you to see me naked. So we're not going to have sex. I said this on this podcast. I don't care. It is the truth. So I did. Really, truly. And because of that, we grew apart. Because when we're not taking care of us, ladies, like we can't expect our husbands to take care of us. We have to take care of us. Kaitlyn agrees with me on this. We talk about this a lot. Like, take care of you. And it's not all about weight at all. But for me at the time, I just remember going, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? I was drinking a ton of wine at the time. That I call that like numbing myself with wine. And I was not happy. So when you're not happy, you don't show up as your whole self. You're bringing half to your marriage. Your marriage is about 2 whole people coming together as one. So if we have 1.5, not good. And so I remember just going like, okay, what will it take? Like, what do I need to do? What do I want? and not do what, not Kevin asking, like I had to come clear, like where are my priorities right now? What is important to me? What will I have to do? And it was going and like really working out, like, and eating better food and cutting out all the wine and cutting out the negative people, hanging out with people who want the life I want. It's really important to hang out with people who have it a little better than you, have it more together than you. They will inspire you to make better decisions. And then just talking out, like being honest with people. I think when we hold it and go, I don't look perfect. Oh God, I'm not like her, especially on social media. Oh no, FOMO. And then you're constantly thinking you suck. It's like, no, you're amazing and you're worth it. And then I remember making those changes. I dropped 20 pounds. I got strong. I got sexy. I got my sexy back. And then I was like, hey, babe, let's go. Like, here I am. And Kevin was so cute because he was like, I knew you were there the whole time. You just had to go figure it out. I couldn't do the work for you. And that was like crazy. I was like, but I really would have appreciated if you told me what I could have done. He's like, you needed to figure that out for yourself. And I'm really grateful I did. And so was it hard? Yes. Was it painful? Yes. Were there days where I wanted to quit, give up, cry, curl up in a ball, hide? Did I hide it from people? Yes, because I was like ashamed, which is silly. We all go through that. And so that was like another tough moment for me, but I'm so thankful for my struggle because I really feel like today I'm just like, oh, okay, I know what I want forever now. You know what I mean? And life's going to go like this, pitfalls and the highs, the lows, that just happens. But knowing what you want and what you are worthy of and what you deserve, and then just, that was a wild moment for me. And I was like, I was a fitness instructor for like 20 years and I had let myself go. That I felt shame for that. And it was like, no, I was actually sad inside. So I had to get my happiness back.
Okay, I've got a question and maybe this is almost more of a Kevin question, but so I get asked quite often by men is, how do I approach my significant other about their weight when they're not taking care of themselves? And I've got my stance on it, but I would love to know your stance. And if you know what Kevin's is, maybe some insight there, like have the male female like perspective. Like if you see that your wife isn't taking care of herself, whether it's weight or just pouring into herself, how would you prefer to be approached by it, and how does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. We talk about that a lot. We say like, it's like taking care of yourself physically and emotionally it's like everything, right? And spiritually, because really when I had the physical and the emotional going on, I knew something was missing. When I finally got my spiritual back, I felt like, okay, now I'm the whole package. But really, truly, that was lacking for me for a lot of years. And then when I got that back, was the whole package. So Kevin and I both had points in our relationship where we had both gotten soft and a little, we call it soft. We try not to say fat, but we got soft. And I remember I'll say what he said to me because it was love. It was never mean. I remember him encouraging me like, hey, I know you're like really into your pickleball right now. Like, that's great. But would you ever consider joining me at the gym and lifting? Because I really feel like lifting weight is everything, especially for women. Like, this is a recent story, ladies. Like, this actually happened to me recently. And I remember my ego stepped in and said, are you saying I'm fat? And I was so mad. I was so upset. And this has happened before too, when I had kids too. So I've gone through this before. But I was like, are you saying what I'm doing isn't working? Are you saying what I'm doing doesn't matter? Like, I went down this rabbit hole of, are you saying this? He's like, all I'm saying is I love you. I would love for you to join me at the gym. Or I would love for you to try this because I really think you'll like it. Like, he literally was just looking out for me. So you can do that with your husband. If you see him getting soft or you know he could be better, just be like, hey babe, have you seen this before? Like, you would be so sexy in that class. Like, I could see you crushing this. That's so different than you're fat and you need to move. And like, I don't think you're hot anymore. Like, spinning it in a better way of the person that you see him becoming, I think is way more powerful and encouraging for him. Right. Same with you, right? You don't want him to say like, what are you doing? Like, ew. So when Kevin said that to me, I do remember thinking like, oh, I don't want to lift weights. Like, I'm going to get bulky. I'm going to bulk up. I'm going to get bigger. I know that, it's like, I don't want that. Or he was like, let's eat this way. Let's do these things. And it's so funny because I always want to think I'm right. I always do. Sorry, it's the truth. I want to be like, oh, if it's not my idea, it's no one's idea, right? Or what are you saying to me? He's actually just being honest with me. And I So anyway, having that honest conversation out of love and saying, let's do this together, or let's do a 30-day challenge and see how many days we can both move our bodies. So maybe it's 5 days of lifting, 3 days of lifting, and the other are like a walk on the beach together, doing a bike ride, doing some sort of cardio or yoga or whatever it is, like making it fun. And then doing a reward at the end is fun as a couple. Like, and then we're going to go to Disneyland, well, that's like 10 miles from my house. So I'm like, and then we're going to go to Disneyland, or then we're going to we'll get a new workout outfit or new Nikes or Hokas or whatever, like making it fun. And I'm going to tell you this, when I'm so bad. I'm really, because I've been married 30 years and I was telling Kaitlyn this, it's like when I lost 20 pounds and got more muscle on my body, I felt so much better about myself physically that I was showing up more intimately for my husband. Again, intimacy is huge. That is one of the things that happens in relationships like that. All of a sudden, you drift apart because you're not intimate. And intimacy doesn't need to be sex. It doesn't have to, but it is having that connection where I could literally be present for Kevin, not thinking of, oh my gosh, do I look fat in this? Oh my gosh, I don't feel good. Oh my gosh, does he think I'm sexy? Oh my gosh. Like there's all these things that happen, but it's like when you take care of you, you're like, okay, and then when your husband does, you're like, hey, like I want that. And I want to tell you that like Kevin has loved me at 20 pounds heavier. He's loved me at 65 pounds heavier. When I was pregnant with my kid, just gave birth to both my kids, I gained 65 pounds each time. And he loves me where I am today. It's not that he doesn't love me. He's loved me all along the way. It was me not loving me. And when I wasn't loving me, I was pushing him away physically, emotionally, all of that. I think I was probably pushing God away at the time too, because I was kind of like, I was just sad. And I feel like when you get your mojo back, and you have it, you're like showing up for all of it. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, I love that answer. That's kind of the route I take on it, is as well as like, you can't go after them and say, you've gotten fluffy, like you've got to change.
Yeah.
But leading by example, asking them to join you on walks, going to the gym.
Yeah.
And and even then, like you said, like it hurt a little bit to hear that because you started to spiral on it, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like he just walked up to you and said, Molly, your pants all tight. Because can you imagine the difference how your mind would have taken that?
Yeah, totally. And then this sounds really crazy. This is something I've changed recently. And it was, I think because of COVID times where it was like we were all looking in sweats, and some of the sweat outfits were cute, some not so much. But I got stuck in a rut of wearing like leggings and my hair in a bun every day. Love them. But when I go out and about this is like just something that changed in the last like year for me. When I'm going to go to Trader Joe's and grocery shop, or when I'm going to go do stuff, run errands, go to the doctors, go out with friends, I try to put on clothes, like real clothes. And Kevin just noticed this the other day. He was like, I love that you do that. Or he was telling someone, he's like, Molly does this. She used to be legging queen. She used to and there's nothing wrong with that. Super comfy. So many are so cute. I could wear them all day long. But I feel like changing that state, I've learned about changing your state from Tony Robbins. And it's like changing your state from, okay, I'm comfy at home, to boom, I'm going to change my outfit, change my mental state right now, and get into more of a like taking care of me, feeling super confident about me, is really important. And your spouse will pick up on that and be like, ooh, that confidence is sexy. Now I want to do that too. Like you can be that secret example. So, not just saying, hey, P.S. I went to the gym today. Did you? They're going to be like, oh my God, I never want to go to the gym if I'm going to act like a jerk like that. Do you know what I mean? Instead of be like, oh my gosh, like I feel so good. And they're like, oh, I could feel good like that too. They're not going to say it. They might not even notice it, but all of a sudden their behavior changes. It's crazy what happens when you show up better for you. They're going to want a piece of it. Wait, that sounded wrong, but they're going to they're going to want a piece of it, and they're going to want to mirror what you're doing. Same with our kids. When we're walking around the house, I call the word schlepping. I don't know who taught me that, but if you're going to like walk around just like sleepy, kind of sleepwalking through life, your kids will do the same. And it's not about looking perfect. It's not about, but it's like, how do I want to show up today in power? How do I want to show up today confident? How do I want to show up like happy, joyful, sexy, fun? all of that. And that for me, I have to like change my shoes and my clothes and my hair. And sometimes I'm like, this should be in a ponytail right now. There's a lot of dry shampoo in here, but I want to show up on this podcast because I respect you in this and I respect myself. So when your spouse sees that and your kids are going to be like, I need to do that too. And your spouse will want a piece of it too.
I love
I had to
you
go back to that.
my shoe collection, my purse collection, my clothing select. Like,
Wow.
yes, because when you feel good,
Yeah.
when you should get dressed, like it is totally a game changer in that mindset. Just by putting on a cute outfit.
Yeah. And we go on weekly date nights and we've done this for a lot of years. And we just make it happen. Some Thursday nights I'm like, but I have something really crazy tomorrow. Kevin's like, but we have made this decision. And when we go on date night, we will go straight from the gym a lot of the times and we'll go change in the locker room into I'm big on dresses right now, y'all ladies, because they're so easy. So I'll just bring a dress and a pair of shoes and I get cute and I'm ready. And I've changed my state, right? I went from like working out Molly to dating Molly. Yes, I'm married, but I'm forever Kevin's date. I'm his hottest date he's ever going to get. I know that. You have to know that, ladies. And show up and be like, yeah, let's go to dinner. Take me to dinner and let's put away our phones and have real conversation. And if, like I said, I'm going to share this with y'all, all the questions you can ask each other. It is wild. Kevin and I, again, have been together for 30 years. Well, married 30, together 35. We still go on date nights with this list of questions we'll ask each other. We are still learning about each other. It is insane. It is insane. We literally are like, what? I never knew that about you. And it's so much fun. What does that do? It creates trust. It creates connection. It creates intimacy. We giggle, we laugh. Sometimes I snort. I'm laughing so hard, but it is like so fun. And we trip out. We're like, how did we not know that? Like what? And it's just really fun. So keeping it fresh. And again, just being your spouse's forever boyfriend or girlfriend, for us, that's like everything to us. We're like, yeah, you met me when I was fun and flirty and cute. Why did I change that? Because I became a mom because we've been married forever. No, that's not even an option for us.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what would you say if you had to pick three things? What would be your three pillars that you say every marriage needs to align on to be successful? If you could only pick three.
Align on. One, I would just say like trust, like love and trust for each other. Like I will always love you. I will always be honest. That creates the trust, right? So you have that's so strong that nothing can break it. I think that's like really important. And of course, our relationship is God-centered. And so having that is really important. And just, gosh, I could do like 5. Okay. Pillar. So God is definitely one of the pillars. She's probably the first. And then the second is trust and the love. And then third is like really having just really good communication. My mom always told me communication is key. I remember her telling me that so many years ago. I was probably 10 when she taught me that. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying, but thank you, Mom. And it is. And it's communicating. What do you need? What do you want? Where are we going? What's happening right now? Like having those real, like that real communication, not hiding. And just all of that creates communication.
You say like this is a true statement. I feel one of the big issues that I feel like I have seen in marriage is they are so scared to communicate, they'd rather run than work on it.
Yeah, that's just hiding. That's what I'm saying. And that's this is in my opinion, that is each individual not being honest with themselves. So when you're just honest with yourself, and my husband's so good at reminding me about that. He's like, stop lying, stop lying. And I don't take that as like an attack. What he's saying to me is stop lying to yourself because you're just like, and one lie leads to another. And all of a sudden you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? What is happening right now? I don't even know what I want. I don't know who I am because I'm trying to be someone else and I'm trying to give answers that I think is going to make him happy, her happy, them happy. It's like having that honesty and then just talking, even hard conversations. It's okay to disagree with your spouse. It's so good actually, right? But not fighting. Like sometimes we still struggle with this, but we have to have times where we're like, okay, so I'm going to say this so out of love. And I'm going to say this, and you say it, and you're like, this is not an attack. Sometimes we have to say these things like that. And it's like, this is just my personal opinion. And what do you think about it? Like, instead of, you're this, you that. My mom always told me this, gosh, She's awesome. Love her. I always call her the goat. She's like, a goat? Why are you calling me an animal? Anyway, but I've lost my train of thought. Now I'm picturing my mom as a goat. Oh my goodness.
Your
Uh,
mother.
yeah. But just, I don't even know what I was saying, but my mom is just, she always said like, communication is key and just being real, being honest, saying what I don't even know what I was saying, but yeah, I got so distracted by my mom, but
Your mom is amazing.
another thing, like even like there's a song, I'm old, but it's like, there's a lyric where he goes, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like
Mhm.
doing a gut check, doing a soul check, like what is it that I want? And it's okay to want stuff. I think that again, as moms, we forget to want, we forget to be selfish, knowing that and being verbal about it with your spouse, because the more you hide, like I said, it stacks, it stacks, it stacks. And all of a sudden, it's like not confetti, y'all. It is bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so just being and just trying to just find joy in every day. I am just like every day, I'm just like, thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, for this day. You know what I mean? Like gratitude is so important. Gratitude. And then expressing it to your husband, like I said, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, fiance, whatever, just like, hey, I see you. I appreciate you. Everyone wants to be seen. I think that many times in marriages, we feel unseen, we feel unheard, but sometimes that's us hiding, not speaking up, not speaking our truth, not being honest, and saying what we want. Go back to Noah from the Notebook. What do you want? Say it out of love. And many times I'm going to finish with this, Kaitlyn, because I'm going on a tangent here. Uh, what do you? Well, I don't even. I'm having way too much fun. But expressing all of that is just really, really important. That's all. Like just not being shy. And just being specific, like being specific. What is it that you want? And believing that you're worthy of it. Many times we're like, I don't need it. It's okay. We can't afford it. It's not the time. No. Like, do you see me? My body language was going down the minute I said that. It's like, know that you're worthy. You're worth it. You're amazing. And when you bring the best you to your relationship, it's going to thrive. It's going to thrive. So I know that many times we just diminish our worth and what we want and act like it doesn't matter. It so matters. And when all of that happens, you're going to be more aligned with your spouse.
I love it. So you mentioned a lot about your faith and how God is number one in your marriage. How has that played a role? How has your faith, especially through the ups and downs?
Thank you for that question. Yeah. I mean, again, we met at church camp, but we always gone to church? No, but we did. We had a lot of times where we go to church and then we didn't, and we did, and we didn't. It doesn't matter. We always say church is a building right now, but church is a community, which is really good. So there's like benefits or whatever works for you. But for Kevin and I, we have a daily routine, which you start your day in a certain way and everything flows better, right? When you do exercise first thing in the morning, does your body feel better? Is it moving better? Is it
Yeah.
functioning better? Are you getting better results, right? Physically. So for us, just knowing like each of us goes straight to it's called like Holy Bible. So again, you could do whatever works for you, but we literally open up the app on our phone before I look at the news, before I look at social, anything with a cup of coffee, set my heart straight, set my mind straight. Kevin does the same thing. We both pick different plans. You could pick plans. There's some really good ones on there, but it's like, then we are aligned, right? We know that is what's important. We pray together. We pray together and it's amazing. We tell each other, ask each other for some, can you pray for me on this? Like I really need some extra prayer on this. I used to be like shy about doing that, which is so funny. But I think as my faith has gotten better, I'm more confident and I've worked on me. I'm more like, hey, I need this, saying what I want. Actually, for me, to asking God and telling God what I need and what I want has been something weird to me. I grew up Catholic. That's not how I was taught how to pray, which Catholic is great, but yeah. So we're just Christian now. And, but like saying what you want to God, God, I need this. God, help me with this. So maybe right now your marriage is struggling. Pray to God right now or whatever you believe in and say, I need this. I want a better marriage. Please help me have a stronger marriage. Please help me show up as a stronger wife. I say these prayers all the time. Please help me show up for my kids better. We're struggling on this right now. How can you give me some answers? Like show me what your will is for me. Like that is huge for me growing into that version of me has been really cool. Again, we should always be growing and evolving as individuals, and then coming together in your marriage is really important and not being shy. If your husband doesn't want to pray, he doesn't want to do the Bible app, just like the gym, just like eating healthy or drinking your protein shake or joining an amazing group that supports you. You be the example. Be like, I love my Lady Boss group. It's fueling me. Kaitlyn is such an amazing Lady Boss. She's teaching me so many cool things. He's going to be like, that's cool. I want a group like that. Well, he can find a group like that too.
Mhm.
Or you're like, I'm going to have my shake. He's like, ooh, I don't do shakes. Cool. I'm having the best shake on the market. Cool. And then he sees it. He's like, well, I want some of that, or I'm going to go find one for me. Same with how you start your day. If he doesn't want to do it that way, you do it that way. You're an example. Never like, you should do this, but like, this is amazing. I feel so good. I'm so glad I start my day like this. So same with prayer, same with your, all of that, how you show up is going to then affect them. And so now Kevin and I have grown. I think I've joined him. He was more like, God, God, God. And I was like, God. And now we're like, yay, God. Wow, that was so weird. I just did a chair. But really, truly though, like you influence each other. You get influenced by the person you hang out with most. I hang out with Kevin the most. And he is an amazing human who always is working on himself. Has he always been this way? No. I've seen him evolve and change. I've been a little jealous sometimes of his journey. Jealous, yes, but also super inspired. And I was like, I'm going to change who I am. Now I go to the gym and lift with him 5 days a week. What the heck? I'm like, this is so weird. And some people in my life are not mad, but they're a little sad that I'm not walking with them or going to pickleball with them. I'm like, right now I'm in this season of crushing my workouts and getting a lot of muscle on my body because at 52, I know it's so important. At every age it is. But I'm disappointing them, but it's okay. I am totally making myself happy. Kevin is happier. We're happier. So it's like really cool. It's like your decisions are everything.
Want.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You're in charge, your decisions, just be empowered and all of it with love. So it's like, I always think like, how can I show up as the most loving version of me? And I have bad days, y'all. I have days where I'm grumpy. I have days where I don't feel like it. But then I'm like, oh, hold on, change my state. I go the Tony Robbins way. I'm like, I always hit my chest. It's so weird. I'm like, okay, wait, a gut check, Tony check. Okay, boom. How do I want Kevin to show up for me? I don't want him to be grumpy or sad or looking disheveled all the time. I want him to be sexy. And then when he is, I'm like, I want to be sexy. So yeah, we like the word sexy. I don't know why.
great word. I love it. It's so funny. I feel like I'm Kevin and my husband is Molly. He was Catholic. I would say he's more Christian now. I kind of dove into my faith a little deeper and he followed. But what I love most about like where we're at in our marriage now with our faith is one, I would say our faith, especially in our relationship, is stronger than it's ever been. And he might not start his day off by reading the Bible every day. I do. But I tell you, I've never been like major into theology and all of that. But we will have amazing conversations now around theology.
I love it.
It totally opens up to so much more. And then we go to bed every night where we pray together, which that is raw and it's real and it's scary.
Yeah.
And it's long. I mean, we've done it now it will be 2 years this October. So what, a year and a half? Every single night, whether we're together or not, we hop on a phone call, or if one of us falls asleep first, guilty.
Yeah. I'm not saying who.
And we each take a turn praying. And in that, it's been so powerful because we're able to see a little deeper I'm able to see a little deeper into him than even our daily conversation, because he is getting personal and having that conversation. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that you were struggling with that. And so it's helped us grow even stronger because I'm able to see into him deeper.
Yeah. And I call that like intimacy, right? So again, when people think intimacy, they think sex or they think closeness physically, but intimacy is when someone can go deep into your heart, into your soul and get you more than anyone else, right? It's you trusting, it's you letting your guard down. It's you doing something that's uncomfortable, maybe praying out loud with them. And what that does is it makes you closer. You know what I mean? It's just magical. And I think that's the difference between a friendship and a marriage is you are letting your guard down. You are being trusting. You are naked, not without clothes, but you are naked as a, this is me. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you love me as I am and let's get better together. And I trust you and let's do these things. Like, I feel like it's just this is what Kevin and I, our journey has been, and we're constantly working on it. There is not a finish line when it comes to your marriage. I want to be 100 years old with Kevin. I will never stop working on us, because the minute you stop, it's just like with your fitness and your health. The minute you stop, it just kind of goes away. And it goes away a little bit quick. Days turn into weeks, turn into months, turns into years. just like your fitness with marriage, all of a sudden you're apart, you're getting worse, and you're like, we can't fix it. So it's like constant work, but it's so fun. And having someone who has your back and loves you, like I'm so thankful for it. And so anyway, I just want to encourage people, if you're having a hard time, we all do. If on social media you see that it's perfect, it's not. And it doesn't matter if you have fancy cars and a fancy house. It doesn't matter what things you have, but when you have a relationship that thrives and someone who's got your back and loves you and wants to kiss you and flirt with you, and by the way, if your husband is not a flirter or a kisser, or do it. Just grab him, do it. I'm telling you. Okay. Cause Kevin does that to me. Cause sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't really want to make out right now. And he's like, let's make out. I'm like, ah. So it's like, you can change each other. So it's like what you want, go do it. The way you want your spouse to show up, be it. You know what I'm saying? Like they will mirror you, but you can't say, I want this, but you're not willing to do it. So anyway, but with the God stuff, it has been a game changer. It has been a game changer. And I'm so thankful because it was a new thing for me. Just like you said, it's for 2 years for you guys. It's like, it's something new, but it's just a new form of intimacy. It's having real amazing conversations that just bring you closer. And sometimes I'm like, we'll finish our date night. I'm like, that was amazing. Like, who can say that many years later? I'm like, like it breathes life back into our relationship, breathes life back into me so I can show it better, not just for Kevin, but for my kids, my family, my friends, my job. You know what I mean? So it's like very cool. I feel like when you take care of your marriage, it bleeds into all other aspects of your life. It really, really does. And so just again, if you are struggling with your relationship, like just go and put in a little more work. I know it sounds work, but it is. Go and put in a little more effort, make a couple changes. It is. I think that's another thing I would tell couples. It's like, yeah, marriage is not easy, but it is amazing.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I know you and Kevin have been working on a project together lately. You hinted to it a little bit in the beginning. And one of the reasons you're no longer host this podcast because you found what your next season is and what's exciting you, right?
Yeah.
And I would love you to tell the Lady Boss community, like, what has Molly and Kevin been working on?
I know. Well, I mean, like I said, like me literally putting this out there of like, I would love to do this with Kevin, but I know he's so busy, or like maybe he just doesn't want to do it. And then recently he came to me, he's like, we need to do this. We've seen a lot of marriages, people just get a divorce or they're really struggling or they'll just be sad. And like, we've seen just so much. And we know ourselves, like if we didn't put in the work or do the things, like we would be in the same situation. So we really, really felt pulled to do this. So we are doing a challenge, and it is called strongermarriagechallenge.com. You can go on there and sign up, and then you get to hang out with us, and we are going to give you so much good stuff to help you recharge your relationship, get that intimacy back, learn how to communicate. We're going to teach you like real, legit, honest stuff that other marriage challenges don't do. We're not going to be like thumbs up, tip, tip, tip. We're going to be like we're honest. And my husband too, for him to do it with me is so cool. So again, it's just strongermarriagechallenge.com. By the way, when we did this before, we thought that spouses were going to show up together. A lot of the times it was just the wife. And she was like, if I can come on here and learn and I can do the stuff, like maybe my husband will watch it later. And so you can do that. You don't have to come with your spouse but you can totally. But it's about just helping you not make the mistakes we have made. I feel like that's like a hack, right? When you can go and learn how to save 10 years of like toughness, like tough times, we want to help you with that. We want to teach couples how to just go from good to great, from, like I said, like just kind of surviving to thriving, from just being fine. So many people are like, my marriage is fine. Inside it's slowly dying, right? Inside they're sad, but they don't want to admit it. It's super cool. That's how we are. We're all on it. I've done that. Kevin's done it, but we want to help you like fuel that marriage so that you can go into your next 10 years. You can make it to 20. Someone stopped me the other day. They're like, we just hit 20 years. I'm joining your challenge because I want to be where you are at 30. Like if you can give me the life hacks, the marriage hacks, the real honest stuff, I'm in. And I was like, that is exactly. It's not. And if your marriage is feeling broken, join us too. Or if you aren't even married yet, oh my gosh, you can learn stuff and like start off like crazy.
Yes.
And so we're excited about that. Yeah. So strongermarriagechallenge.com. You can just go on there and sign up with us. It's going to be super cool.
Awesome. I can't wait to check it out. I'm excited. I've learned a lot over, 8 years of marriage, 10 years into our relationship. And I couldn't imagine if I would have had a lot of the toolbox I have before I even got married, how much of a
Yeah.
game changer would have
Yeah.
been. And I think back to, we were probably 2, 3 years into marriage, and my husband and I, we kept having the same fight. Everyone I'm sure listening knows that same fight you have over and over again. There's just never a resolve, right?
Yeah.
And I had been taking some, not necessarily marriage training, but I was doing some personal development and talking
Nice.
about
Yeah.
relationships. And it was not necessarily turning it around and putting it back on the person, but asking them to, well, what would you expect differently? And I will never
Mhm.
forget, kind of a late night conversation when you probably shouldn't be having the conversations. And I finally stopped and said, okay, we keep having this fight, this is the same discussion, rough discussion over and over again.
Mhm.
When does it end? Okay? We've got to figure it out. So let me ask you, what are your expectations if you don't like me doing this? Because you know my point of view. We have this
Yeah.
every time we have this.
Yeah.
What would you expect of me? What would you like to see?
Mhm.
I will never forget, my husband kind of stepped back and demeanor completely changed. He's like, well, I don't know. I've never been asked that before.
Yeah.
And then he dug deep and he's like, well, and then of course he gave me well, this is what I would kind of like to see and expect. And that one
Yeah.
comment, that
Yeah.
one, like, let's restate this. We haven't had that same fight ever
I
since.
love that. And that's kind of what we're hoping for, is that couples or individuals will come away and say, that is what I needed. That is the one thing that's been holding me back, or that's how we can make it better. What we do say is, like, we are so not about, like you were saying, like rehashing old wounds or bringing up old past stories. Like, we find that to be not good for marriages. Like, we're all about, like, going forward, right? It's like, how can we go forward and be amazing, right? Like, have a stronger marriage. Let's not go back to what you said and what we did. But it's like, that just isn't beneficial, right?
No.
So moving forward, and we say there's like a place for therapy for sure. We've both done that. But it's like, for this challenge, it's like, how can we help you? Literally, the name of the challenge, Stronger Marriage Challenge. How can you have a stronger marriage? That's what Kevin and I are going to help people do. And we're so excited.
I love it. I'm excited to check it out. And I want to stress, you said it earlier, but you don't need husband and wife to both be
No.
there. One
Mm-mm.
person can lead. I mean,
Mhm.
even in my story I just told, like, my husband wasn't working on any of this at the time, and it was a
Yeah.
game changer just by the effort I was able to put into
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I know firsthand, like, even if my husband isn't on board with doing this challenge with me, how much I'll take away with it from it,
Yeah.
and it will impact our marriage. Continue.
Yeah. And you can do it in your house. You could do it on your couch. You could do it on your patio. You could do it at a cafe with headphones. Like, you could do it on your own time as part of your life. And I'm like, wow, that's powerful. I wish we would have had something like this back at 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, like something like that. So we feel like, pretty much experts, 30 years of marriage. I've been a life coach too for years too, as a fitness instructor. I am a female, I'm a wife, I'm a mom. So we feel pretty much like experts. And so, but again, just like in your relationship, when we're like, you come with love, that's all Kevin and I are. Like, when you meet my husband, you're gonna be like, dang, like, his perspectives on stuff are so cool. I'll probably learn stuff alongside you. And I think that when we can also learn from the men's side, we're going to have a lot of aha moments where we were like, oh, wow, I wish I knew that sooner. Or wow, I can go into my marriage and use this tactic, this tool, this amazing thing. And wow, it might really, really help you. So I think it really will. I know it will. So for me, I just feel like that's so cool that we get to do this together. So
I love that. I love it so much. And
yay.
what's the website one more time for everyone listening?
Yeah, stronger, like, whoop, flex. I just had to do a flex for you. Strongermarriagechallenge.com.
All right. StrongerMarriageChallenge.com. Go sign up for Molly and Kevin's marriage challenge. Go
Yes.
find out what it is all about. I know I will be there. I'm so excited.
Yay. And I
I
give
know.
fun little stories. I give you a little behind the scenes on my Instagram, which is just Molly T. Richards. So my husband, he was off social media for a long time too. And now I just like do posts of the two of us, and people are like, what is happening? I'm like, we're on a mission together. Like, it's so funny now. I'm like, oh my gosh, who are we? What is happening? So anyway, it's been
For the
really a
record,
journey.
I follow both of you on Instagram, and I'm loving your posts like always. But I'm loving watching Kevin's pop up too. I'm like, there's Kevin.
Everyone is like, wow, he needs to be on here more. So it's been really, really fun for me. Now I have permission to like be like, here he is. This is great. So yeah, again, we are all better together. So go and thank you, by the way, for having me on this. Like, I adore you, and I love what you're doing for your community, for the community, for me. I appreciate your friendship and all of you in Lady Boss. And I was going to say, so after you watch or listen to this podcast, go send a flirting text with your person right now. That's your homework right now.
Yes,
Flirty,
phone,
fun,
please.
go do
Yeah.
it. And yeah, plan that date night right now.
Yes, I
And find
love
out
it.
what
Go
it's
get it done, ladies. Do it. Molly,
Yay.
thank you so much for being
Yeah,
on.
this has
It's a
been a
pleasure
blast.
as always. And this won't be the last. I just
Oh,
really,
you're so sweet. I love you all. This has been awesome.
you ladies have an amazing day. Until next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.